Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing black with leopard trim. He weighs 126 pounds, and he brings a perfect professional record to the ring consisting of 32 bouts, 32 victories, including 29 by knockout. With 2 world title belts, he is considered by many to be, pound for pound, among the best in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, from Sheffield, England, presenting the reigning and defending undefeated WBO Featherweight Champion of the World, Prince Naseem Hamed. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing red, trimmed with gold letters, and weighing in also at 126 pounds. He has an outstanding professional record in 62 bouts. He has 53 victories, including 39 knockouts, with 7 defeats and 2 draws. Ladies and gentlemen, damas y caballeros de Juarez, Mexico, presenting the reigning and defending WBC Featherweight Champion of the World, Cesar Soto.
Gentlemen, you're giving your instructions in the dressing room. Listen to my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. Good luck to both of you. Touch them up.
When Soto was asked what would happen if the Prince hit him his best shot and Soto didn't blink, he said, "I feel sorry for him." That is the first thing we're looking for tonight. How can he handle the punch?
Meanwhile, a lot of people in the arena feel nothing but love for Prince Naseem. In case you weren't with us at the beginning of the telecast, the estimated Arab and Arab-related population of Greater Detroit is 275,000. The promoters believed that by fight time, it was quite possible more than half the people in the arena would be Arab. We have a startlingly large crowd, seemingly much more than 2/3 full, and no one expected that without an American fighter on the card. But Prince Naseem Hamed has his own unique appeal, and now round 1 begins.
What Soto has to do is just be basic. Don't get caught up in the okey-doke trying to outshow this guy. After everything, get back into position. And the Prince has just got to be himself. You want a new trainer to add into your repertoire, but you don't want to drop anything you bring to the table.
Every fighter who faces Naz claims they'll be unruffled by the theatrics and they'll stay within their envelope. Not that easy to do once you are a part of the hoopla that surrounds the bout. You saw Naz come into the ring and go immediately over to Soto and touch gloves with him as if to say, "I hope you enjoyed my show."
Soto came out in this fight trying to rough Hamed up as he's doing right now, but Hamed answered with that 5-punch barrage about 20 seconds later, and now Soto has settled down a little bit.
And that's what's frightened me more about Hamed. Has he gone into training camp, lost some of what he brings to the table? Trainers have a way of just putting too much of their stamp into your style. Soto is solid, landing punches, gets back in position, ready to do it again.
Referee Dale Grable was trying to wrestle them apart as Hamed fired an uppercut right between Grable's arms.
Hamed is a counter puncher. Feeds off of what you do. That's what you want to keep him doing. Boy, it was power.
Not short, quick counter punches either, but long, looping counter punches thrown from odd angles and delivered with devastating power.
When he's off balance, he's the best there is. You give him some balance and you may have him just average.
Hard left hands by Hamed. And already Soto has that look on his face that seems to say, well, I'd heard he was a hard puncher, but this is something new.
I think right now, really what's bothering Soto is the quickness of the Prince's punches rather than the power as yet. He's just beating him to the punch.
But Prince has that something about him. He does two things to your left and then comes back to the right with a power shot. He hasn't demonstrated that tonight.
Naz working
to the right and then do something left.
Naz working to the body through part of this first round. Does not always deign to throw body punches, but seems to want to say to Soto, okay, I've heard you can punch to the rib cage. Watch this. And now Naz poses for a while before coming back to the corner to talk to Emmanuel Stewart.
Take it down some here. Okay, you sit down. You're looking great shape. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Sit down. Sit down, baby. Sit down. We got that. What you gotta remember, take it easy. Slow down. You're not working your magic here. Just start playing with the jab a little bit. See, you're just shooting all of the big shots. As soon as you start, he's going there. He's going there. He's giving you where you don't get much either way. Start playing with him a little bit. You got so much speed. Sooner or later, he's going to shoot one of them slow shots and you're going to catch him with a counter punch. But start getting your range. Just start playing with him. And once you get to studying.
Did you see anything different? You have to take advantage of this guy. When he jumps, go right to the chest.
Two. Go back and corner.
You heard Emmanuel Stewart advising the Prince to be calm, let Soto throw punches and leave himself open for one of your quicker counter punches.
And he's saying play with him. So I would like to applaud Emmanuel Stewart for putting that into it. Play with him. That's what he needs to hear. I didn't think Emmanuel would do that.
Well, Emmanuel says he's not trying to remake the Prince, simply hoping for some refinements in what he does. Noteworthily, Stewart says, I'd like to get him to at least pay a little attention to defending himself and not be so easy to hit.
Soto has now been warned twice, once for leading with his head and once for a rabbit punch.
Naz waiting for Soto to come in and firing the left uppercut. Soto trying to stay within a tight envelope and set up his left hook. Oh, just missed with a big left hook there.
Oh, it didn't miss. It hurt him.
It flipped him.
It slapped him real good.
Soto, listen. When I say break, break. Okay.
The Prince tries to use his dexterity and quickness to lean away from his opponents, and sometimes he gets clipped like that.
Soto just has to remain solid. Keep your left foot in front of you, jab with your left, throw your right in a straight fashion. If he does that, things can happen good for Soto.
House is heavily for Hamed, but there are some Soto rooters here too. And you'll hear them whenever the Mexican star produces a rally.
Hamed has not been able to get into his rhythm tonight. He's trying so hard to be the aggressor.
The shot.
Now we got a rhythm going by Hamed.
Hard left hook by Soto. And you saw the typically off-balance Hamed moved to the side by that punch. Now Prince Naseem comes back with an uppercut of his own. Soto trying to measure, get inside, and pin his man against the ropes and fire the left hook to the body as you saw him do twice there. Another left hook lands hard upstairs. Naz grinning, a sure sign that he felt it. So Cesar Soto has settled down in the latter 2 minutes of this round.
Good body shot by the Prince.
One more time, big point.
Another warning against Soto, and an indication that the next instance of holding will produce a penalty point. As we go to Soto's corner, where Miguel Diaz speaks Spanish, our interpreter is Hector Garcia. Now Diaz is chasing referee Dale Grable across the ring, trying to say to Grable, it isn't my man who's holding, it's Prince Naseem who's pulling his head into it.
You're doing very well. You're doing very well. When you step on him, you throw that right hand and then the left hand behind it. When you step on him, just do that. Breathe in deep. Breathe in. You're doing real well.
Here's that long left hook that Soto got in position for. Not on the jaw, but an effective punch. It landed behind the point where it might do some serious damage.
Naz was out of his corner for several seconds waiting for Soto. Soto stayed on his stool until the last possible instant. And the referee, Dale Grable, wanted a couple of more seconds to get things set before letting them at each other.
Now the Prince is using his footwork. That's what you want to see. Dancing, moving, counter-punching.
And as the Prince comes forward and engages, Soto tries to get to his body.
Now Soto can have lots of problems with a moving, dynamic Prince. Lots of problems.
Naz landing a soft left. Soto trying to counter with a hard left of his own.
Soto keeps his hands right in front of him. He jabs.
Prince Naseem fans in the crowd chanting Nazi, Nazi, Nazi. Soto lunging as he comes forward. Naz getting a chance, but missing. Crowd gets excited, but no heavy contact there.
This is what happens when a fighter spends too much time in the gym practicing power. You're born with power. You got a shadow box to make sure you can execute.
As always, Prince Naseem tempting fate with his hands held down well below his waist, relying on his flashing speed and extraordinary reflexes to stay out of serious danger.
Conversely, Soto is holding his hands unusually high to protect his jaw.
So you have a study in contrasts now, midway through round 3. Soto focusing on staying in his envelope. Naz trying to tempt him out of it.
Naz has got a good rhythm now. He goes left, left, and then right, 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 and then left.
Soto not as busy in this round, and it's given Prince Naseem a chance to get off.
I got a feeling the referee is really going to change the course of this boxing match.
I kind of feel like he wants too much of this boxing.
Yeah, I mean, you really want to stay out of the fight as much as you can. Tell him to break.
First one that takes some punches on a break is going to get a point off. Now box.
Yeah, it's got too much referee tonight.
Yeah, and he's offering instructions in English, which Cesar Soto might not understand.
I never thought about that.
He's warning both fighters not to punch off the break and saying that the next fighter who throws a punch off the break is going to be penalized. But I'm not sure Soto knows what he said.
Not only that, he's been warning too much. You can only do so many warnings.
Off his head, off his head.
Big left hook lands upstairs for Soto. Naz comes back with a right left of his own.
To him now, you're making him get all.
Here we see Soto pressing Naz head into his chin and neck.
Now you got to be stretching and doing it. Stanley, keep working at it. You're falling apart mentally because the man cannot think this, but you're doing too many things to him. He used to keep it straight, and every time he punches, let him miss completely. And keep turning, y'all. You're bringing him down systematically. Thank you for it. Fight now, good fight. I love that was the best round. And I always know where he is. You know where you at. When you're there, when you can do what you want to do.
What you talk to him when you're inside, take advantage of it. When he's grabbing, take advantage of it.
Stay back, Nas. Stay back. Stays down, coach.
CompuBox numbers in round 3, a very Prince Hamed-like round. Naseem throwing 43 punches and landing 14. That's about what he likes to do. Cesar Soto, 10 out of 44. Harold, how do you have it through 3?
Get off his head, off his head.
2 rounds to 1. Prince Naseem Hamed certainly Cesar Soto won that second round. He landed some great shots. I don't think Dale Grable is over refereeing. It's a very rough fight. Punching. He's trying to stop this from the beginning. In other words, straighten out all the violations early.
Don't push him off, Nas.
Yeah, but he's got at least 2 warnings to keep track of at this point.
Yeah, you don't want that much yah-yah in the ring. You really don't. When you can make a good fight a terrible fight. The good referees.
But surely the referee feels like he's doing exactly the opposite. Helping the fight to be better by getting them to fight more cleanly.
Yeah, the good referees, they stay out of it. You stop them from hitting on the brake by getting in between the guys.
Soto is like the dog who chases the car and catches it and then doesn't quite know what to do. He catches Naz and he just hugs him or throws some punch that is smothered right away. Like this.
Break! Stop punching!
I like Emmanuel Stewart's instruction. I've never seen a guy that diversified as far as instructions. He comes in and gives this guy the proper instructions he needs.
Well, the only similarity between what Naz does and the traditional Kronk style is that he has his hands low. Soto landing one to the back of Naz's head after a hard right hand drove Prince Naseem back.
This is not a Kronk fighter. This guy is being instructed properly. I'm amazed.
And
play with him. You never hear Emmanuel Stewart say things.
Emmanuel's showing his flexibility as a trainer in this day and age.
And you got to applaud that. You got
Lennox Lewis is a whole different trip than Prince Naseem Hamed, and he's training both of them together.
Boy, good body shots.
Break! Break! Stop it.
All right, now the job gets tougher for Grable.
Point. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Point.
And the penalty is against Prince Naseem.
Point.
So 1 point deducted from Prince Naseem here in the 4th.
I'm telling you, the referee has been doing too much of this stuff.
I don't know who he deducted the point from.
He deducted it from Prince Naseem Hamed. It was clear, Larry, he pointed to the Prince.
Who picked this judge? I mean, this referee.
Michigan State Commission. And quite obviously, they don't have a lot of opportunities to do this kind of thing. This is the first night of championship boxing in Detroit in 12 years, since 1987 when Tommy Hearns lifted the world light heavyweight crown from Dennis Andries.
And the referee is looking for a disqualification.
Stop! Stop!
Keep boxing him. Keep turning him and angling him and twisting him around, okay? You're doing good, you're in good shape, but you got to keep angling. Keep him out there twisting and turning. And what you should, you're just missing him with that right uppercut. You want to catch him with it pretty soon. You just miss him with it. Once you catch him,
when he stands in front of you, just before he's ready to come in, throw your punch. Just a second before, you're going to catch him.
Holding.
You're doing real well.
Excess from Hamed.
Now we're going to do it now. We eliminated a lot of his
And still to come tonight, a live conversation with Evander Holyfield in Atlanta, Lennox Lewis in the Pocono Mountains in Pennsylvania. Both of them in training for their rematch November 13 in Las Vegas. We'll talk live to both later on this evening. Round 5 begins. Scheduled 12. Dancing ends as Cesar Soto drives Prince Naseem Hamed back into the corner. Action slows. That appears to be somewhat to Soto's advantage as he tries to get opportunities to pound Prince Naseem to the body. Arm punches by Naseem. He hasn't thrown anything with real power on it in a round and a half. It'll be interesting to see what penalty this draws from referee Dale Grable. He's going to deduct another point, I think, from Prince Naseem. Grable wants Soto's people out of the corner. Second point deducted from Naseem. And if he rules it unsportsmanlike conduct, then the next instance of that could lead to disqualification. Harold Letterman. Is Prince Naseem on the verge of a disqualification here?
You got to wonder. Certainly he's close. I mean, he picked up Soto and body slammed him. If I were Grable, I would have done the same thing, Jim. He had to.
I don't think he had any choice. had no choice.
I said all along, this referee was not the right guy to be in there messing with these champions.
Yeah, but this is an ugly fight because of the way Soto is fighting with his head down and his hands high, trying to get in close.
He's solid now. He's fighting in a good, solid position.
And because Hamed is left-handed, and so they don't mesh right, and the judge is trying to make some sense of the fight that it may not be possible to make any sense of.
Times like this, you would like the commissioners to get in and have a little powwow with the referee and let him see exactly where he's coming from.
And now Prince Naseem seems to suddenly have decided that he needs to take this into his own hands, and he begins to fire heavy power shots for the first time since the third round. Well, Roy Jones was unbeaten and lost on a disqualification against Montel Griffin. Oscar De La Hoya was unbeaten and lost on a controversial decision against Felix Trinidad. Could Prince Naseem see his record sullied for the first time on a disqualification here? He seems ever dangerously closer to it. As switching feet, trying to land something big out of the blue. Round 5 comes to a close.
Now you're doing it. Now you're doing. You step up, and that's why a fighter pays a trainer. You step in and do something.
The reference is to Emmanuel Stewart, who has come into the ring to make his presence felt with Dale Grable, and now Miguel Diaz has come in to join the conversation. And the round card girl doesn't have any room to move. Now she manages to slip by and let us know that round 6 is upcoming.
And she doesn't give a damn about any of it.
And that's why not be disqualified.
So many guys, all they do is sit back in the corner and wait for their paychecks. This is what you hire a manager and trainer for, to get in there.
There's the body
Don't be afraid of these referees.
Previous round, and obviously deliberate.
And now Naz comes out of his corner to wait for round 6. The crowd gets juiced as they get 2 replay views of the body slam on the overhead jumbotron. And now through 5 by CompuBox numbers, Naseem Hamed has landed 62 out of 212 and Cesar Soto 55 out of 194. And Soto moves ahead on the Letterman card as the result of point deductions against Prince Naseem.
I gave both of those rounds, I called both of those rounds even rounds because I thought that Prince won the rounds. I have it 2 rounds to 1 in favor of Hamed with 2 rounds even.
Meaning your card's different from Harold's.
Never happened before.
Break quick, stay back quick.
And this time Hamed alertly lifting his arm off Soto's neck when he heard referee Dale Grable coming close. Well, fans who wanted to see Naz score an explosive knockout here may be a little befuddled as they watch him staying away from Soto in the 6th. Naz trying to set up a counter shot.
Stop punching right there, stop punching.
Good. Super left hand by the Prince that time. He's finally finding his range with his power. But that Soto maintains solid.
Break! Good shot.
Strange fight. Strange night now.
Naseem watching with his eyes, looking for something, looking for anything.
Brilliant semi-main, non-stop action between Eric Morales and Wayne McCullum. Now an entirely different kind of fight here. Hamed lands a left hook. And throws Soto to the canvas.
Now wait a minute now. This was a hold on and fall down.
Touch him up.
Grable agrees, and issues no penalty.
Boxing is rough.
One more time.
Soto's head hit the canvas pretty hard, but he does not seem fazed by it.
That Soto is strong. He's solid.
Yeah, he's tough to steal. Soto trying to back his head away from that of Prince Naseem. The danger when their heads come together, of course, Soto's taller by 3 inches. That puts Naz in the butting position.
I'm more afraid of what this referee can do than what these fighters can.
He slowed down. He slowed down good now. You got him tied now. He's tied. You're in unbelievable condition. Unbelievable. This time, let's go right-handed for a minute, okay? Let's go right-handed for a minute, okay? Yeah. Because he slowed down. What round is? Oh, good. We're okay. It's over the first half. So you just take all the rest of them going down the stretch. He's slowing down, though. He's slowing down in just a matter.
Throw the shoulders. Do not look for his face anymore. I want you to throw on his shoulders, his chest, and his stomach. Do not throw anything to the face. Try to throw right in the chest. Okay? And keep throwing punches. You're winning. Just keep throwing punches.
Some people have compared Hamed's act to wrestling. Here is another takedown with Soto falling over Hamed's leg.
So that was a pull down in your view?
Yeah, that was a pull down.
Off his head.
You know, Soto hasn't shown me much skill. He's tough, he's determined.
He's tough.
But I don't see much skill going on here.
Harold, how do you have it through 6?
Okay, Jim. 3, 2, 1 even. 56 in points. Okay, I got it all even in simple English. Certainly, I gave Cesar Soto round 5. I guess that's where I differ with Larry. So that becomes a 10-8 round because the referee took a point. So 3, 2, 1 even. You know, hardest fight for a judge to score is when you got 2 holders. That's the problem here. The judge is going to have a hard time determining who's going to do the better punches.
How close is Naseem to a disqualification?
Okay,
Harold?
now we know for sure. I asked Dale Grable. He said he normally will disqualify a man after he takes the 3rd point, but he emphasized normally as if he wouldn't do it if he does take another point from Hamed. He emphasized it was only, you know, usually he would disqualify after 3 points taken away.
He has taken 2 away already.
Correct.
He's put himself on the spot.
So just to clarify, Harold, that means there would be no 3rd point deducted. It would simply be a DQ at that point.
Jim, no. He just emphasized that normally. My opinion is that he will take a 3rd point if he has to, and he will not disqualify Prince Naseem Hamed.
Get off his head. Step back, please.
Now the Prince is stepping in and showing his power.
Break.
Watch the floor.
You got to stay close when you want to punch hard. Go home.
Stay off his head. Stay off his head.
You heard Emmanuel Stewart telling Prince Naseem that he thought Soto was slowing down.
Stop. Big puncher.
Soto looks pretty much the same to me as he has throughout the bout. He isn't as fast as Naz to begin with. But he's adept at staying within his envelope and fighting the way he wants to fight.
Yeah, you definitely you never see the featherweights tying one another up as you're seeing tonight. This is odd for that weight division.
But Naseem's unorthodoxy will bring out strange behavior in most of his fights.
Yeah, and he's jumping his punches in, which is, he doesn't have a chance to throw another, so he...
And there's the classic Naseem counter. Soto leaning in to try to land something, and Naz blocking him with a long left. 10 seconds to go in what has not been a particularly busy round 7. Naseem trying to flurry a little bit in the closing seconds. Soto comes back with a 1-2 of his own.
I have no idea what Soto did in that round.
Hey, David! Have somebody clean this corner's language up because they're taunting the other boxer. And that's not allowed.
Keep on making it, make it here.
Calling him chicken and all that shit.
Keep making him be like a wash.
Fight him down.
I'm not coming back up. You got it. Please.
You have to fight closer to the hand.
Interesting.
Do not give him this.
The referee asking commission members
every time he pulls back, you miss.
to bar Soto's corner from taunting the fighter.
That's the first compliment I'll have for the referee. He did right that time.
Although he used a little profanity of his own to make the point, George.
Just got a
small contradiction there.
Well, when you have a fight that isn't appealing to the crowd, sometimes you get a fight in the crowd, and there's a big one going on in the balcony right now.
Couldn't be nearly as good as the great battle between Wayne McCullough and Derek Morales that preceded this one. In that fight, there were more than 200 punches thrown in the 11th round. Round 7 here was a relatively busy one for these two fighters. 51 punches thrown by Prince Naseem, 37 by Soto. That adds to 88. Wayne McCullough throws 88 punches in his sleep in one round. They're not hard punches.
That's why it's good for judges and the referees even to study films prior to a boxing match to know something about the styles of the fighters that you're judging.
Particularly if you're going to referee a Naseem Hamed match, because there hasn't really been another top fighter quite like him.
And you want to learn something, so a lot of things you consider fouls are just what he does naturally.
Naseem is fighting in a conventional style now instead of left-handed.
Yeah, and that's something Emmanuel Stewart asked him to do. Turn right-handed for a while.
Stop punching.
Naseem fights so often with his shoulders square that it's really sort of academic to define him as a southpaw or conventional fighter, either one. He is a two-handed fighter.
Sometimes you want to keep your fighter entertained by telling them to do things. You get bored out there, you're winning whenever you want. Then
That's a push.
I don't know about that. That could have been a foul down. The guy misses and he hits the shoulder of the guy and he falls.
If Soto's goal was to keep from getting hit by Hamed's biggest punches, he has achieved that. If his goal is to win the fight by out-punching him, I'm not sure if he's achieving that.
One more thing. The referee has gotten more sensible, by the way. I like that.
What if the goal was to go the distance and see what happens?
Well, I don't know if that's a smart thing to do.
Stop! Fucking head, stop!
Some of Naz's rounds are very tough to score. And now a point deduction against Soto for using his head.
Box!
So 2 penalty points have been levied against Naseem Hamed, 1 against Soto.
Break! Stop punching! Stop punching!
An exasperating fight for fans and both fighters.
So you're back in the winning. Let's keep this.
Here's some of the roughhousing that has gone on in this fight. Southpaw against a conventional fighter. Getting all tangled up, pushing, shoving.
Stop punching!
It looks like something that goes on in line play in football. Now here's what the deduction came for, as Soto lifted his head into Hamed's jaw.
And hit him low at the same time, just for good measure.
Face down!
One thing I always say, at the moment when you're butting the other guy, the referee will be watching that. That's a good time to get away with a low blow.
Barry Sanders, the great running back of the Lions who is retired, is here in the audience. And I imagine that all this is too familiar to him. It's probably why he retired from football.
Great running back formerly of the Lions. And supposedly never again. In round 8, the two fighters combined to throw 72 punches, but they only landed 10.
Wait! Stop punching!
fighters are averaging about 10 connects apiece per round.
Now the referee is refereeing. Step in and you make them stop. Don't take points away because you can't stop it.
There's blood coming from the face of Soto. I can't be sure where. It may just be his nose.
Soto told us yesterday he's never been cut. I think the blood's coming straight out of the nostrils.
Break!
Product of one of Naz's punches to the nose.
Let go of the man, let go of the man.
Naz to the nose.
Break! Stop!
Now the blood flowing pretty freely out of Cesar Soto's nose. And Naz begins to pot shot him.
Break! Stop fighting! Stop!
That poor referee. He's gonna have to lift weights.
Yeah, this is the Gone with the Wind of refereeing jobs.
1-2 for Hamed. Soto pummeling him to the body as the Prince comes in. You heard Emmanuel Stewart talking about what sensational shape Hamed is in. And the Prince does indeed seem to have a lot left physically midway through the ninth.
Arthur McCanty, the veteran official from New York who has refereed more than 100 championship fights, originally was supposed to referee this fight, but the Michigan Commission decided to put one of its own in there.
Clean it up, clean it up.
So far, there's no reason to believe that Prince Naseem is bothered by any damage to his left hand. He had hurt his left hand in each of the last two fights against McCullough and against Paul Ingle. He said it swelled up like a cantaloupe after his fight against Ingle. But he's still throwing hard left hands here tonight. So it would appear that that's not a problem for him.
He's gotten everything under control now.
Yeah.
Just looking for a knockout.
Pretty soon, Soto's going to have to open up, take his hands down and start throwing some punches.
Unless he and his trainer Miguel Diaz believe he's winning the fight.
The referee has started to take courage and stay out of the fight. I like it now.
And Prince Naseem using a little showmanship to keep the crowd on his side.
You may have broken his nose.
I know ya.
Huh?
Wipe my nose.
You got blood all over you.
Let me wipe the blood, okay?
No.
Let me do it.
Okay.
Don't give him water. Breathe in. Breathe. You need to breathe. Get that oxygen through. Don't stay behind. Come on. Don't stay behind. You didn't throw any punches this round. You didn't throw one punch. I couldn't reach him. We got to win this fight. Tomorrow's another day.
Naz's father.
Naz says, my heroes have never been boxers. My hero is my father. Sal Hamed, man who took his poor family from Yemen to Sheffield, England, and bravely worked his way out of poverty.
Now, Soto is probably suffering a broken nose, as they mentioned earlier, and the chin. You got to learn how to fight. This is no time to jab and exchange jabs. You got to attack.
Harold Letterman, how do you have it through 9?
Jim, I got it. 6-2, 1 even, 86-83 Prince Naseem Hamed. He's still landing between the punches. One thing, I'll tell you how tough Dale Grable is. His son was the first one to go to distance with Oscar De La Hoya. Won 8 rounds with De La Hoya at Rochester.
That means the dad is tough?
Yes.
Okay. In the last round, Cesar Soto landed only 7 out of 47 punches. And you heard our interpreter, Hector Garcia, interpreting Miguel Diaz between rounds, saying he didn't land a punch that round, and Soto replying, I couldn't find him. Or I think it was I couldn't reach him. But that's a constant problem for opponents against Naseem.
The Prince now literally looking for a knockout. Keeps his eyes open, waiting for this guy to move his head so he can hit him with the hard shot. He's not setting it up, though. He's looking for it.
Is he safe enough on the scorecards to be looking for a knockout, George?
These are the kind of fighters we want. Continuously seek a knockout. Doesn't matter the scorecard. You can't trust those. Don't play it safe.
But it's been such an odd fight and somewhat devoid of clean landed punches. So a knockout looks like a remote possibility.
The Prince is looking for one.
Okay.
He should set it up. Don't just look for it. Set it up. Jab, jab, double jab, things like that.
I didn't think Shane Mosley was going to be able to do enough damage in the 10th round to knock out Wilfredo Rivera a few weeks ago, and he proved me wrong. Maybe Naz can do this.
The Naz came in with a slight uppercut this time. That hurt Soto. He's got him hurt now. He's got to just set it up and look for it.
There are growing choruses of boos, particularly from the upper regions of the arena. But some of them from here at ringside, where people paid $1,000 a ticket. And might not feel as though they're getting $1,000 worth of main event.
Well, the Prince is fighting the world champion this time, WBC. Don't reach out and just get knockouts anymore. He's not fighting a contender, he's fighting a champion.
The Prince trying to body Soto off and land another big punch. Six minutes to go, and now the boos begin to grow in intensity.
This round. Because once he gets into the damn 12th round, it's going to be hard to knock him out. Relax, Habib. Relax. You know, you make it and miss by stepping off to the side, but then after that, go right to him after that. Try to come up through the middle. You understand? Listen very carefully. Quick, right now, Habib. Keep working the jab, but when you let it miss.
6 minutes left. How about the bleeding my nose? Don't worry about it. It's over. Breathe in breathe in. Use your nose. You have to throw punches in this round. It's a must.
$211 landed punches in the fight through 10 rounds. Both fighters throwing an identical number of punches by CompuBox calculation, 410 punches apiece. They're averaging 41 a round. Naseem lands a hard left hand. Many of the ticket buyers booed in the closing rounds of Prince Naseem's decision victory last Halloween against Wayne McCullough in Newark, New Jersey, and now there are boos again tonight as he seems headed toward a 12-round decision against Cesar Soto. The trouble with knocking out long strings of opponents is you better keep providing knockouts or your fans are disappointed.
Well, the worst thing that can happen to a fighter is indifference. And nobody is indifferent toward the Prince.
Well, in order to get a knockout, you just can't just get in the ring and get a knockout. The other guy has to try to knock you out, and you get him.
Naseem, with his most spirited flurry in a while, lands 2 or 3 big punches. Soto, showing a granite chin, keeps coming and firing his left hook.
Soto is simply not in the league with the Prince skill-wise.
Well, can you imagine the Prince has the WBO title, though. So which belt do you think is by far the better representative of the weight class?
Well, it's the fighter who makes the belt, not the belt who makes the fighter.
And in the politics of boxing these days, what consistency is there? There are some WBC champions who are terrific and the best in their weight classes, and then there are some who are just fighters.
Well, you don't answer those questions with speeches.
You answer them with your gloves.
No, you answer them with what you see.
Yeah.
Just say this is the better fighter and a better belt.
Sooner or later, more and more fighters will realize that it is they who matter and not the belts.
Soto is really not covering himself with any glory, not showing any great valor in the way he's going about defending his title. He's not really taking chances. He's got his chin tucked in, his gloves. He's really not winging it when he's clearly behind in this fight.
Guys got to get his break. Stay off his feet. Stay off the feet.
But the referee has turned out to be great now. Ooh, another good uppercut. Right uppercut.
I agree with you, George. I had doubts about the referee early on. I think he's done the best he could in a difficult circumstance. Maybe Soto and his corner believe that because of the 2 points deducted from Hamed, this fight is close enough for them to just keep doing what they're doing. There goes another one. That's about the 4th unassisted tackle for Naseem, and he helps Soto up. And makes a show of it.
Let me take a point now.
They ate up about 10 seconds of their 60-second break.
Your round. This is the last round. You're back ahead on points. If you hard him with the right uppercut, if you can ever get him with that one, you might can take him out. That's the only punch you're going to knock him out with. Trust me. Because everything else, he's got such tight defense.
Stay off the feet. I told him to stay off there. Clean this last round up.
Everything you got. This is the last round. Everything. Last round. Everything you've got. The difference between this, the difference between this guy and you is $1 million.
The right uppercut.
Both of these guys are going to show up in the NFL tackling statistics after this weekend.
In round 11, Prince Naseem had his best round, landing 21 out of 42 punches. Does that mean he won the round on the scorecards?
Well, Prince really want a knockout, but he's got to catch Soto coming in.
Well, you heard Emmanuel Stewart say only the right uppercut will do it. No other punch will score the knockout except the right uppercut, according to Stewart.
But he has to catch whatever punch it is coming forward. He's reaching out, and the guy has Soto has a good defense. Hands are always in position.
Naz trying to launch him with a left uppercut there.
End of another point.
It seems that Soto is trying harder than anything to protect himself from being knocked out.
So he just wants to go the distance and see what happens.
Yep, he's satisfied with going the distance.
Another tackle for both of them.
Soto was headed down.
Rabel's decided nobody's going to be disqualified.
Yeah.
They're going to finish one way or the other.
There are all kinds of ways to quit in a fight. In my judgment, Soto has quit on his feet by not making a sincere effort to turn this around in the last couple of rounds.
Solid left hand up the middle by Prince Naseem. Soto reaches and grabs. One thing for sure, Naseem has not come close to running out of gas in the late rounds here, the way he seemed to do part of the time against Paul Ingle and against Wayne McCullough. So maybe he is considerably better conditioned now than in his previous training camp experience.
Off his head. Step back clean, so break.
I hope the $1,000 ticket buyers showed up in time to see Morales against McCullough. If they did, they won't go home all that unhappy.
You don't want to follow a show like the one we had earlier.
Oh, was that a fight?
Break! Break!
There'll be a lot of boos when the bell sounds at the end of round 12.
Break! Stop punching! Come on, come on. Finish up, finish up.
No knockout for Naz.
Break! Stop punching!
No aggressive title defending effort, or so it seems, from Soto. Naz pot-shotting, trying to land a few more power shots in the closing seconds.
It's not going to happen.
And here comes the chorus of boos.
Stop! Stop!
Not one for the time capsule.
Cesar Soto jumping up and down and thrusting his arms in the air, trying to portray the body language of a winner. Prince Naseem was chasing him to try to give him a congratulatory glove touch, and Soto just walked away. In the 12th round, Cesar Soto threw 31 punches and landed only 2. Not the way Miguel Diaz wanted him to close the show. Harold Letterman shows you his card.
Okay,
Harold?
Jim, 116, 109, 9-2, 1 even, including the point deductions in rounds 4, 5, and 8. Let me tell you something. You know, Cesar Soto has to learn how to land a clean punch before Prince Naseem Hamed could tie him up. I mean, there's a fine line between holding and tying the guy up. Prince Naseem Hamed would tie him up when he come rushing in. Soto didn't land anything. It was certainly Prince Naseem Hamed. I've got him winning by a big 7 points. 116, 109.
Harold, do we have experienced and qualified judges here tonight?
Absolutely, Jim. Chuck Hassett, been judging for a long time. A Hall of Famer, by the way. Chirini, not as long. Mike Liena has been judging forever. So, you know, experienced guys. 2 out of 3 at least.
All right, there were 3 penalty point deductions during the course of the fight. In the 4th round, a point deducted from Prince Naseem Hamed for holding. Then in the 5th round, unsportsmanlike conduct, this one was called, and a point was deducted for that body slam. And then in round 8, partially evening the score, a headbutt by Soto, and a point deducted from the Mexican fighter there. So let's see how all of that affected the official final scorecards.
Looks like we're going to have another one of those decisions that make you want to holler.
Looks like they're taking a little bit longer than usual to tally up the scores and get these numbers sorted out. And there's Naseem up on the shoulders. There's his wife, Alicia Naseem, and let's go to Michael Buffer for the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the Budweiser scorecards. The winner will be the unified WBO and WBC champion. Mike Gliena scores at 114 to 110. Chuck Hassett scores at 115 to 110. And Dario Acciarino scores at 116 to 108 for the winner, and still undefeated from Sheffield, England. He is the WBO, WBC Featherweight champion of the world, Prince Naseem Hamed.
So Prince Naseem, who was nervous enough, incidentally, to lean over the ropes and glance at our monitors to check out Harold Letterman's scorecard when we were showing that, gets the reassurance he's looking for from the 3 official ringside judges, and now holds 2 featherweight championship belts. One of the governing bodies has indicated that he'll be stripped of their belt if he does not get rid of the other one. So there'll be politics upcoming in the next couple of weeks, and Naseem may have to choose which one of these 2 belts to keep. Final punch stat numbers. And you can see that it was not a thriller. Prince Naseem landing 153 out of 484. Cesar Soto 107 out of 498. And all in all, not a particularly memorable battle, particularly in comparison with the one which preceded it. A brilliant effort by both Wayne McCullough and Eric Morales. For the second time, Prince Naseem goes the distance for a decision in America, but remains unbeaten. And now let's go to Larry Merchant in the ring.
Woo! I'll tell you what, I give them another 10 rounds. I felt strong, baby. Go!
All right, thank you very much, Jim. Congratulations, Naz. First of all, the question everybody wants to know the answer to, why was this such an ugly fight?
Nah, whoa. I'm not saying it wasn't an ugly fight, because it was a very ugly fight. Can you, easy baby, easy. I'm coming too close now. The fact of the matter is, this guy made it such an ugly fight. I came to punch, he knew I was a hard worker, he wanted to grab me, put his head in me. He didn't know that I've got a heart of an Arab. of a heart of an Arab, a heart of a
Did you feel?
lion.
Do you feel he was trying to rough you up to get you upset into his kind of fight?
I'm just saying, no fighter in the featherweight division is not strong enough to rough me up, but he did. He tried to rough me up. He tried to school me. He tried to bully me, but he couldn't do that because I had him. I broke his nose in one of the shots off the clinches because he tried to knock me in the clinch, butt me in the clinch, hit me with his elbows, everything.
All right, but there were 2 points taken away from you.
Baby, give me some room. Hey, man, I want to breathe. Let me breathe, Larry.
There were 2 points taken away.
Champ.
There were 2 points taken away from you.
I know.
For fouling. Were they deserved?
Being honest with you, I didn't think there was deserved because the guy was using his head all night and the referee didn't. I don't even think he did a warning. Maybe.
But you picked him up and slammed him.
You know why?
Why?
Because I needed to show him psychologically my body strength is bigger than his, is harder than his, is stronger than his, and I did that. And it started mentally deteriorating him.
Do you think, did you do that to show you weren't afraid of him and to intimidate him in some way?
Being honest with you, he just tried to rough me up, and no, I just wanted to show him that he wasn't roughing me up. I'm an English Arab. Listen, it was all God's will. Let me speak a bit, Larry. Damn, let me get a word out, my man. You too quick to jump. You're always on my case, dog.
You're jiving me.
All right. Wait up. All I want to say is the whole fight was God's will. Whatever happened, as I always say, happened, but the guy made a horrible fight.
I can't interview God. I can't interview you.
No, you can't. Yeah, you can.
Okay, so what I'm asking you is, were you surprised that in the last 3 rounds, when he was clearly behind, that he didn't really open up and try to change the fight?
No, I did try to open up. The guy,
him. That he didn't try to get to you at the end of the fight.
No, I think he did, but every time I was getting close and I was letting my shots fly, the guy was just like trying to tangle me up, put his head in. He was trying to stand on my feet all the fight, watch the tape. But he couldn't do that. I've got a heart of a lion. What are you saying, Will? Did you hear that? Heart of a lion.
Yes. When the fight is over, the crowd boos. You're here to please the crowd. Yeah, how do you take that?
Being honest with you, I'm not upset about it. I may be a little bit disappointed at this moment in time, but what the hell? I'm the WBO featherweight champion of the world. Listen, I'm 2 times world champion, and I can honestly tell the viewers, especially on HBO, and everybody watched the fight, Sky Sports, everybody, it won't be an ugly fight, my next fight, because this guy didn't really he came to fight, but he came to tangle somebody up, rough somebody up.
Would you want your next fight to be against Eric Morales, who is a completely different kind of fighter and a fighter who is willing to stand and exchange?
Most definitely, maybe, but I'm out there to get all of them now. You see, I beat him. I beat Soto, who beat Espinoza. Espinoza beat Kennedy McKinney. Kennedy McKinney, who did he beat?
And the neck bone is attached to the head bone.
Judy Jones beat Barrera.
Thank you very much, Naz.
Oh my God.
Thank you. Just this final word. The purpose of a professional prize fighter is to win fights or give entertaining fights and to win fans. Tonight, the Prince won the fight. He didn't win the fans. Jim?
Just spit it right in there. Don't worry about it. Drop your hands. Be sharp. Change your angle. Give him that, hey, come on. And snap your punch.
So you saw the